Hello everyone! Today I decided to start going over the Floppapedia, which is a really long detailed Wikipedia on all the Floppa lore and everything about Floppa. And my Floppa hyperfixation loves it, so I'm gonna start going over it, because I know that's gonna take a while because there's like a million pages on it or so yeah. We're starting off with the Floppa countries and the Bingus countries and the Saga countries, so I'm just going to go right into it instead of holding you guys back for any longer. Our first country is the Republic of Baja California. The Baja California Republic is an independent country in North America. It seceded from Flopsico along with Yucatan Republic in the 1840s. Despite this, many uninformed people still believe it to be part of Flopsico. The Baja California Republic is home to the biggest natural supply of flopium in the world, and because of that, it has been the target of several Fortune-sponsored coups aimed to make the flopium cheaper in whatever country funded the coup. It is currently controlled by a Floppa Salvanian government. The GDP of this country is 154 billion flops. The population is 4,005,670,467. The currency is Baja dollar, along with the capital of the country being La Floppas. List of governments in Baja California. The original government went throughout the time period of 1841 to 1884. The first government of Baja California, fairly standard 19th century republic. It was invaded by Floppas and turned into colony. Flopcha colonial government 1884 to 1933. Generally disliked by the population due to them trying to enforce the Floppish language on the country, it was overthrown by a communist government in 1931. Communist Baja, 1931 to 1950. A lot of the Bingus population starved during the region of communists. It was overthrown by the CIA-sponsored group in 1950. Pro-UF government, 1950 to 1955. Similar to the original government, but with the UF interfering its elections. It was overthrown by another communist one in response to its rigged election. Second communist government, 1955 to 1970. Heavily disliked by the UF, they made many failed assassination attempts on its leader and even launched a failed invasion once too. Ultimately, it was not the UF that would topple the communists, but rather Flopsha. Pro-Flopshan government, 1970 to 1995. Established solely because the Tassar wanted cheaper flopium in his country, it was actually more popular by the inhabitants of Baja than most of the previous governments. After the establishment of a pro-Flopshan government, Baja became a puppet state of Flopsha. In 1973, war erupted between the Flopsha and Flopsico due to Flopsican reserves of the flopium drying up. Flopsico invaded Baja and took half the peninsula, but their advance slowed down once the main Flopshan army arrived. Ultimately, the UN managed to negotiate a peace deal which involved Flopsico getting a massive discount on flopium. Islamic Sagastani government, 1995 to 1996. The Islamic government was extremely unpopular due to the low population of both Muslims and Sagas in Baja. It featured the exact same laws in mainland Sagastan. It barely lasted a year as Sagastan was dealing with its own internal issues at the time and could not divert resources into Baja. Independent democracy, 1996 to 2012. The Islamic government was ousted, and for the first time since 1970, the country was fully independent. Things remained relatively peaceful until 2012 when Bingustani agents took control of it. Bingustani government, 2012 to 2017. Bingustan is a country with an extremely low supply of flopium, and because of that, Vladimir Bingus decided that Bingustan needed a colony. While there were more Binguses than Sagas in Baja, they were still a minority. The Bingustani government in Baja was way more tolerant of non-Binguses than the government in mainland Bingustan, probably because they couldn't afford to upset the populace of their only supply for flopium. However, due to Bingustan having a lot of enemies, it was bound to eventually be overthrown, which happened in 2017. Pro-Floppa Salvanian government, 2017 to 2030. Almost every country that was at war with Bingustan had plans to overthrow their colony, but Floppa Salvia managed to do it first, so the other countries backed down. The Floppa Savalian administration is controversial, as it's actually less liberal than the Bingustani government was in some ways. Binguses are genuinely treated worse by the law enforcement, and expressing pro-Bingustani views can get you in trouble. Floppa Salvia's influence on the country so close to Flopsico had gotten Juan slightly worried, as while they were current allies, it's like relations will stop being so smooth once the Bingustani War had ended. On January 8, 2030, Flopsico finally invaded. Flopsican government, 2030 to 2032. The Flopsylvanian-Flopsican War ended in Flopsican victory. Upon Flopsica winning, they installed the Juanist government. The Juanist government cracked down on anyone who demonstrated against it. The Juanist government would end up to be short-lived as 2 years. The Juanist government was overthrown by the residents of Baja. The independent government, 2032, the present. Originally established as a provisional government, Baja California Republic is currently an independent government. The independent government supplies floppium to countries which sponsored the overthrow. There are multiple countries with plans to overthrow the independent government, however, none of these plans have been carried out yet. That concludes the first country and episode of the Floppapedia readout. Thank you so much for listening, and make sure to tune in for more content the next time I upload. I honestly don't know when. Making these is going to be easy because of how much information there's given, but I also need to do a lot of editing and stuff, and, voicing, which I don't always have the time to do. So, yeah. But I hope you all enjoy, and I hope I could teach you a little bit about the Republic of Baja California in the Floppa universe today. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
For me, I really like corn.
What do you like about corn?
It's corn! A big corn with knobs. It has the juice. I can't imagine a more beautiful